Hi, welcome to Fatmata Speaks. Welcome to the weekly messages. The message for this week is huge, okay? I heard lots of sentences during this reading and I saw lots of images. Well, this is not going to be a long one, I can say that. But I felt like the image were very loud and they have celebrational feelings around it, okay? So the first image I saw people wearing straw hats, and I'm gonna assume they were farmers or fishermen. And I couldn't see their face. I could only see the hat that was like almost half covering their eyes, and they seemed to be walking. My first impression of the image was like, oh, this is about suffering, this is about poverty, kind of. But like the image kind of like didn't move. It kept being the same thing for a while, but then I had in my head rag to riches. And immediately, as soon as that word landed in my head, the feeling towards the image changed completely. I felt content. I felt abundant. I do not know how to describe that feeling for you guys. It's literally like I have the feeling that I am the richest person in this world in all senses. So this rag to riches is not only about monetary, you know, riches. It goes beyond that. It truly goes beyond that. And the thing is, you're already feeling your wealth, because this is the wealth era we're entering. Okay, you're already feeling it in your body. Your body already knows that feeling. So all that is left is for your reality to catch up. And this week is telling you that it's gonna happen like very soon. So while still having that image in my head, I felt the sensation of abundance just being there. And I was just looking at it, looking at it. I wasn't confused or anything. I just accepted it. And this goes to show that you have accepted the feeling that, well, the notion that you are rich. Even if your 3D is not showing it, you know that you are rich. And then the image changed, and it's changed to a big yard. And if you are familiar with like Chinese, Japanese, Korean historical drama, you know that the noble men, they have like their homes and they have like this huge compound with different houses on it, and they have like something like a salon, but like it's outside, and they sometimes call over like dancers to come as a form of entertainment. The setup became that, and the dancers were dancing and people were around them watching them, just as a type of entertainment. And there was this feeling of like, I have the world in my hand, kind of. And it was just there. Ooh, sorry. And it was like people are celebrating something. I don't know, you are going to be celebrating something this week. The arrival of something it's going to put you in a celebratory, is that the right word, right? In a celebrational mood. Literally, you're going to be celebrating the arrival of something, and you're going to celebrate. You're going to feel wealthy while celebrating it. It's like that intense. Anyway, the image kept on for a while, and then it switched, and I saw a woman, and she literally, she had she has meat on herself in all the right places. You know, like, I think it was in the, oh my god, I don't know which century that was. Mittelalter? The Middle Ages? When you were round, plummy, that was considered to be rich. She was kind of like giving that type of vibe. I don't know if you guys get what I mean, but she was kind of giving that type of vibe. And she was wearing some traditional African clothes that sometimes dancers wear when they're dancing. And she was dancing. Well, she was dancing on a waterfall. She was dancing on a waterfall. And she was just celebrating. She was all by herself and she was celebrating it. And I believe that the celebration, you are celebrating the arrival of whatever is coming in with your people, with people who have like built you up. Your family, this could be your family, this could be your very good friends, this could also be your ancestors, because they're already doing their thing. They're already celebrating. I have the impression they're already celebrating because the when was it? The last week of July, the reading was all about your ancestors, like getting to work and making sure that that thing that you're supposed to receive land in your hands. Okay, and I believe that as soon as that land, because as long well, one message after the other, one message after the other. Okay, just one after the other. So I believe that that message is somehow connected to this, because there was lots of ancestral energy around it, about your origin, about your roots. And in that reading, the ancestors make sure that you receive whatever you're receiving. And this week, the reading is all about you receiving the thing and actually celebrating it. So this has been in the works for a while now. And oh, I don't know if I said it, but this is for the second week. Is it the second week? Yeah, second week of August. From the 9th onwards. Anyway, she was dancing on the cliff. She was just being, and then the image switched and I saw a ring. It was a ring with some gemstone on it. But the thing is, the gemstone was like half in the water and half above the water. And it seems to be like splitted in two, kind of like the one part that is, well, the middle section was kind of like busted and it was spilling into the water. And this body of water was at the bottom of a waterfall. Now I'm emphasizing this because last week's reading, there was an element of being standing at the top of a very steep waterfall and then taking that leap of faith and then landing down in the form of like whiteness. Yeah. I hope I'm not mixing two readings into this. But yeah, there was an element of standing at the top of a waterfall. And now we're at the bottom of the waterfall. So whatever step you took last week or the week before that, you have finally arrived. And now it's time for the rewards to also arrive. That's why this ring, this gemstone was kind of like bleeding in. So it's literally coming in. And then the image switched and the gemstone was like on a finger, on the left hand of a masculine guy. I'm emphasizing the masculine because that guy looked so healthy in all the right senses. And he was seated on a throne. And again, he also had like this traditional wear, African wear. And he had in his right hand a mug from which he was drinking from. And on his right, he had the ring. And there were also other rings. Imagine Thanos, but like the rings were much more colorful, more vibrant in a way. And he was just there. He didn't say a thing, but you can feel his presence. So there's a type of wealth that some people have that allows them to command a room without saying anything. It's a quiet power. That's also a wealth. But there's also, given his appearance that he was so masculine looking, I believe health also plays a role in it. So if you have not been feeling well in the past couple of weeks or months or I don't know how long, your health is returning to you as well. Your health is returning to you. And given that he was drinking, he was nourishing himself from this mug, it also shows that a particular need will be met. Which form it takes, I don't know, because that's going to depend on the type of need that is being fulfilled. But I was looking at this guy and I felt like this is someone who is acting in their power. It's like you know who you are and you're not afraid to like stand in front of a group of people as your authentic self. So there is a power of like being able to hold yourself, up to your power. You know your power, you step forward in it, and you do not make yourself small for to fit in. You do not compromise. You stand out. And there is a level of sovereignty to this as well. And that's also wealth. That's also another form of riches that you're getting this week. Or maybe it's for like different set of people, or maybe it's for the same person that who is receiving all of these riches. I don't know if you guys remember, but like 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, or maybe 5, I posted a video. I think I titled it "It's All Happening Almost Simultaneously," and I have a feeling that in a way it's connected to this as well. Yeah, all the videos of the past seem to be connected somehow. Like this is like the tip, not the tip, the peak of it. So yeah, your wealth are coming in, and that particular wealth of sovereignty, the wealth of having the power of having your needs being met, of being able to nourish yourself in whatever level, and also the wealth of health is also finding you this week. Or maybe it's starting this week and then it's pouring in. You're gonna stay in this frequency, basically. I hope I'm not mumbling. I hope I'm not mumbling. Anyway, yes. And then the image switch. Now, the way the image switch was like different. Normally when the image switch is just like it just disappears and then something new pops up. This time it didn't do that. It kind of like the masculine sitting on the throne, it kind of like just slipped down, and then while it moved downwards, another image moved in, kind of. And this image was of a feminine figure. When I say feminine, I mean someone who's literally resting in their feminine aspects side of them. They were women. They were they are women. We're women, feminine presenting. But even the way they hold themselves, it was so soft. And the sun was like kissing their skin. I cannot express this any other way. It's just the sun was kissing their skin. It's like, and you can feel that they themselves took care of themselves. And you can see that by the glow of their skin, like someone who scrub, who like moisturize, and give their body what it needs. And the glow is not only from the outside, it also comes from the inside. So like giving yourself the right food to eat, people. Eat the right food, believe me. Also allowing yourself to rest, allowing yourself to be, allowing yourself to receive, and also just allowing yourself to operate as you flow, because we women, feminine presenting, we move according to the phase of the moon. It changes us, it influences us, and certain aspect comes out at certain part of this, whichever phase the moon is in. So there is a flow to it. There is a natural flow to it, and that was like what this feminine figure was like emanating. And the way that the image was like changed from the masculine to the feminine, I believe that the masculine image that I saw was more about the outer expression of this wealth. We look healthy from the outside. We can stand up in front of people, being seen, and also present our wealth in a way because of the many rings. Whereas the feminine image that followed after was more about the inner well-being, the inner wealth, well of wealth that is like brewing in us, and that is pouring outside. So the wealth that we're gaining the wealth to express out, but also we're gaining the wealth that comes from within. And that comes when you're at peace with yourself. And there was also the thing that the woman was sitting on a throne, and beneath the throne was like a dark cloud, but even that dark cloud couldn't like do anything to stop the shine, the glow of the sun from kissing her skin. It was so beautiful to see, to be honest. It was so beautiful to watch. And she was just in her element. Oh my god, I cannot speak. Ooh, throat chakra. Flow. She was in her element. She was in her element, and she was just alive. So there is this element of aliveness that has been coming up in the past readings, and I believe that we're really going to be feeling that. That's also a sign of wealth, wealth of feeling, acting, and being alive. Because most of us, we're walking around as if we're a zombie, even though we're not a zombie. So that's also a type of wealth. So be open to that, because that's, if you allow it to happen, to come in, you will be able to tap into that and experience that. Again, experience. August has been all about experiencing things, but in order to experience certain things, you have to allow yourself to be in the frequency of receiving. Okay, you have to receive people. You have to be open to it. Allow yourself to receive. It's about time that we start living, not just surviving. It doesn't matter what the 3D look like. Believe me, if we maintain a level of aliveness within us, our 3D is going to match it. Our 3D is going to catch up with it. So just focus on building the feeling of wealth in you, because I think that's what the first image was trying to emphasize. Because I was seeing the people wearing the straw hats, and they were walking, and at first I felt the sense of struggling from them. But at the same time, but as soon as the image, well, not the image reached, the emotion flipped, my attention flipped, I guess. Where attention goes, that's where energy flows. And then the rag to riches word came into my mind. I didn't see them as poor or struggling people anymore. I saw them as being abundant and being fulfilled. And as soon as that emotion, someone is having difficulty to speak, or maybe it's just me. I don't know, but this is one message at a time. Okay, one word after the other. Okay, step by step. No need to rush. Again, so as I was saying, after the emotion kind of like settled into my body, that's when the image switched to this big yard, having entertainment, having a celebration, something to celebrate. So like the emotion of being abundant is arriving before the abundance arrives. So your 3D is going to catch up. It's going to catch up, okay? Or it is catching up already. It is catching up already, I believe, for some. Yeah, it's definitely that. Oh, I'm going back and forth, and I hope I do not miss any image. Yeah, okay. So after I saw the image with the feminine figure, again, the sun was kissing her skin. Self-care, people. Self-care goes beyond, going for manicure and pedicure. Self-care is like allowing yourself to rest. I might be repeating myself. If that's the case, I'm sorry. If you're still here, then this message is definitely for you, okay? But self-care is about allowing yourself to rest, allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to experience, allowing yourself to be. Yesterday, I feel called to sharing this, okay? Yesterday, I went to work, and because it's a Wednesday, meaning my sleeping schedule has not yet catched up to what is needed at that time. I need to wake up earlier than on other days, okay? Because normally I've developed the routine of not having any alarm next to me when I sleep. I wake up when my body says wake up. And that usually means waking up around 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, whatever it is. And sometimes when my body's like up, I wake up, and then I try to do some things, maybe big, something small. Try not to be a nuisance, because, I don't want my neighbors to wake up at 5 just because I'm up at 5. And sometimes after like being up for like 2 to 3 hours, I get the feeling of I could go back to bed now and sleep. And if I don't have to go to work, don't have to go to university, and don't have to, have anything big planned for that day, I allow myself to go take that nap. And normally after an hour or maximal 90 minutes, I'm up again. But I allow myself to rest. On Wednesdays, it's not possible because I have to go to work. And yesterday I went to work and I was on my feet. So I was awake. I didn't feel sleepy. But as soon as like work was done, my body was like, yeah, we need to rest right now. And I was like, no, let's go do something. And my body's like, no, we need to rest. And I was like, okay. And I allow myself to rest. And I was knocked out for 2 hours. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, but like, I was knocked out for 2 hours. And when I woke up, it was like almost 7 o'clock or almost 8 o'clock or something. And within 1 hour, I was able to finish all the things that I was like planning to do after work. And after finishing them up, I was still feeling energized enough to stay awake and relax without sleeping. Okay. And I'm happy I did that, because if I had forced my body to like stay awake after working, I tried to like finish or whatever I was planning on doing that yesterday, I would have felt tired by the end of it. But because I allow myself to rest, I felt energized enough to relax. Again, relax is not the same as sleeping, okay? Relax sometimes just means sitting there and being, literally just being, breathing and laughing if you're watching something and all that. So I guess that's connected with self-care. So that's another form of self-care that you guys can practice if that calls towards you, if that's a possibility. Okay, anyway, the image switched after that. Okay, let's keep moving on. The image switched after that and I saw a cliff, but there was like a rip in the cliff, so it was like split into two, kind of. And the split reminded me again of the past readings, which was the end of July reading. And in that particular reading, after sorry, yeah, this is confirming it. This is definitely connected with that reading. After the ancestor got the substance that was like floating on this river to their descendant, and the descendant picked it up. The descendant is you, by the way. Picked it up, the river dried up, and then it split into two, and then things were coming out of that river. Lots of stuff. I couldn't see them all, but like lots of stuff was coming out, and lots of them came out for a while. It was open for a while, and then it closed up. As soon as I saw the split in this cliff, that image came to my mind. So that's connected. You're receiving something, and after receiving it, whatever you're receiving, after receiving it, the gap is going to close, and the gap is closing in maybe in this week or towards the end of this frequency. And as soon as the gap finished closing, you would think that that's the end of it, but it wasn't. The gap closes and then people appear. So the return of community, okay? The return of community. The gap closes and then people appear. And the ones that were on the left side, some of them moved to the right, some of them just remained where they were. And then the ones on the right moved to the left, and some of them also remained where they were. And people were welcoming each other. So after receiving whatever you're receiving, there is also a certain type of wealth coming in to your life, which is relationship. I think, I don't know which reading this was, but I believe that was in May or June. There was a reading about meeting your soul tribe, meeting people with whom you can grow together. And recently, it was last week, so the first week of August, I did a reading about relationships and how that is the key to your success. It should be there somewhere. And this image kind of like emphasizes that. It kind of like confirms it. Because as soon as the gap closes, you are meeting the right people. And these people, together you're going to grow something. Together you're going to build something. You're finding the right people to surround yourself with. That's literally it. But that only happens when this feeling of abundance arises in you. Okay, I feel called to sharing this again, so I'm gonna share. Okay, if you're still here, then this is really for you, and I hope you're getting the message out of it. So this morning, today, I was on YouTube, and then I came across a video, and the thing about this video was like odd. So when you scroll YouTube, you normally see everything, one video, it's okay. But this video, I saw it like twice. The first time it was there, but then I scrolled past it. I wanted to see something else. And then the second time I saw it, and this time it appears twice. Like back to back. I don't know, I think it was a glitch or something. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it had something with quiet power in it. And in the video, the reader, a lady, was talking about how in the past you have given love, you have shared your heart, and you were sharing love, okay? You were operating from love. And unfortunately, the amount that you were giving out was not given back. And this has caused you to pull back from people. Some of you are literally afraid to form a connection because you have been betrayed so much, so often, that you just don't know how to trust that your vulnerability, being vulnerable out there, will be rewarded or accepted without you being hurt. And she explains about how to come out of it, because you are a person that operates from love. Why do I want to tell about this, okay? You're the person that operates from love, and that is your default. But because of the past experiences, you've learned to give love, but yet be able to uphold your boundaries. And that is a quiet power. That is wealth as well. Because we as children, we were not really taught to uphold our boundaries, especially if you come from a POC family, okay? If you uphold your boundaries, people call you selfish. If you uphold your boundary, people, you kind of like risk being like, not being left out in a way, but like you risk gaining the reputation that people kind of rely on you, kind of that you're not reachable. You're not there for the family, for whomever. But having boundaries doesn't mean that you don't love someone. You can love someone and still have your boundaries up. And you can love someone, and if they're not good for you, you can still let them go. It doesn't mean the love dies out. It doesn't mean you being, hateful or anything, or blaming yourself, or anything of that sort, because sometimes some of us, we feel responsible for our next person, so we always kind of like try to be there for them 24/7, even if their existence is not really good for our growth or is clashing with our growth. And sometimes the best thing you can do for your loved one is to just let them go, to shut the door in front of their face. It doesn't mean you don't love them. It doesn't mean you stop loving them. You love them, but you also don't take the disrespect. You know what I mean? So she was going on about it, and while watching that video, it kind of like struck a chord. And I don't know, just now I felt like called to share that video about the content. So yeah, you have learned about yourself, you've learned about your boundaries, you know, you have your negotiatables, that's how you call it. And you have learned that people are on their journey, so you're not responsible for them. I just received a notification and it says like, this is what you have been waiting for. You've learned that you're not responsible for people. You've also learned that you can outgrow people and you can let them be where they are. You can still love them. But once you operate on a certain level, on a certain frequency, if you try to interact with them as you usually did in the past, there's gonna be lots of issues. So instead of hurting yourself and hurting them in the process, you've learned to let go to maintain your respect and dignity without closing your heart. And because you have all the right boundaries in the right places and your heart is open to receive, you are meeting the right people with whom you can grow, with whom you can feel at home. And yeah, I think the gap was like you being in the process of learning. That can also be understood as that. While you were in the process of learning, the gap was of course there and it was increasing the longer you closed your heart off, or you open your heart but then being disrespected or hurt or betrayed, and that led to the gap, you know, opening more and more. But now that you're in the state of being content, feeling abundant, you've healed your wounds, the gap has no reason to be there anymore. It's closing up, and people finally are having access to you. You're reachable for the right people, and you're open to meeting them. That's what this gap means, and they're closing. So you're finding your, I don't want to say soul tribe, okay? I feel like we use soul tribe way too easily, but you're finding your people. It can be romance, platonic, I don't know, different other types of relationships, but you're finding your people. Okay, let's go to the next image. The next image that I saw was of a waterfall. But imagine the waterfalls that you find more like in the forest. The ones that has like moss on them, you know, the green thingy on them, and the water is like flowing, it's transparent, and you have like stepwise kind of like waterfall, and you have like stones in them, gravel in them. It's just a waterfall with the right wetness to it and the right smell to it. I don't know if you guys are like, maybe I'm just that sensitive. Well, like you can smell the earth in a way, like when you're in a certain type of environment. And I was able to smell it. It was just right. Crisp. Exactly to the right level. And the wetness was just right. The moistness was right. So, you know, the organisms that are supposed to be in that environment, they can survive in that environment. And the water was flowing without any blockage. The sun was shining down on it rightfully. And the moss, I hope that's the English word for it, the green grass, not grass, they're not grass. Around it, they were growing as they should. It's literally, it felt to me like you being at the right place, having the right mindset, and divine timing is just right, and you are thriving. You are thriving. Sorry, the sun went away. That's why the lightning changed. But yeah, you're at the right place at the right time, surrounded by the right people, and having exactly the resources that you need to feel at home, to grow, to succeed. This is really a complete flip of how the 2026 has been so far for the first 7 months. It's really a rag to riches. But this rag to riches is not just about monetary riches. It's also about wealth, relationships, your power, your health. Did I just say health twice? Maybe. And about being in the right place, having the right condition to grow and obtain that success, which is rightfully yours, that has been ordained by the universe, that is part of your soul contract since the very beginning. You're finally in the frequency of receiving it all. You are. Oh, I wrote something. I wrote, you're in the right place at the right time with the right people, and you can maintain your wealth and continue to thrive. So welcome to your rich era. It started from within, and now your reality is finally catching up with it. So congratulations. You made the switch. Now just receive and enjoy. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate the wins. Celebrate all of the wealth that is coming in your life. And congratulations. Congratulations. You did more than well. For holding on to the frequency, to your dream, and keep putting in the work that has gotten you to this level. It hasn't been easy. It has been a struggle, literally. But out of that struggle, you made something out of it. You created the life that you wanted out of that struggle. So congratulations. You did well. Now go enjoy. Okay, go enjoy. See you guys later. Bye.